Okay, so welcome everyone. This is our launch event, our first meeting for something that I'm extremely excited about. This has been a couple of months in the works. I've spoken to a lot of people from the community to kind of get this initiative started. And today's the first day that our first meeting, and we're gonna share some pretty cool things with you. So what are we going to chat about today? Well, I'll give a quick welcome and introduction, the why we wanted to get this group together to get something going for the community. And then I will hand it off to Will, who will tell you a little bit more about one of our two programs, the Datafam Mentorship Program. And then will hand it off to Christina, who will share with you what we're doing for career transition support, which is another program that we're going to support. And then if we have a little bit of time left, I think this is the place to network. And that's what we want to do, to make sure that you build meaningful connections. So we'll see if we can maybe do some breakout rooms. But let's go ahead and get started. So who are we? Why did we do this? So we want to serve as a beacon of support, and we want to help professionals with.
Hey Roy, one sec. We don't see your screen. If you want to do a screen share, we're not seeing the screen right now.
That might help.
It wouldn't
be the first time, I can tell.
There we go. It's popped up. There we go.
Okay, thanks for mentioning that. So okay, so now that you can see my screen, so we want to serve as a beacon of support for mentorship and networking for data professionals. We want to foster connection, and we want to make sure that that we can help you achieve that career success that you're looking for. But we also want to make sure that when you're hitting these goals, you're also helping others achieve them. So I think that's a very important thing that I've learned through my career. And sometimes it's harder to thank the people that help you along the way than it is to help others and to really continue that impact, which is why we kind of wanted to get this started. So just to tell you a little bit about why I'm very passionate about this from a personal level, I actually came to start learning Tableau after I myself was impacted by a layoff, and it wasn't the first time. So it was a very hard time when that happened. I thought that would never happen. I was in a very good place, and I was building a team, and it just all of a sudden everything changed. And it just happened to be that a couple of weeks before that, I was looking into Tableau. I had already asked my director for an opportunity to learn it because they were going to do a training at my company. And he said that eventually I could get that opportunity, but for that time, it was going to be hard because the tool was very costly, and they already had all the spaces filled out and so on and so forth. And I wasn't part of the data team at that time. So when that happened, a couple of weeks later, I get the news. I started researching Tableau, and I came across Tableau Public, and I said, well, I'm going to have time right now. I'm going to have to look for a job. So I might as well just learn it. And I downloaded Tableau Public. I built my first visualization, which was very much a visualization that I found on Tableau Public that I downloaded and kind of back engineered into a resume. And that's how I kind of started learning the tool. But at the same time, I found Tableau user groups, and I joined the Atlanta Tableau user group. And from there, I can tell you, I was hooked already, like from the get-go, because I found some incredible people. Like they just wanted to help. They wanted to help all the time with everything. So I started making some amazing connections, and it led to everything after, when I started Comunidades, which is Hispanic Tableau user group. it was because I wanted to do more of that and help others, and give a place for other leaders to also help people. And it continued, and I just got hooked. And now I'm a Tableau ambassador for 2 years, and I just want to continue kind of amplifying that impact. So that's why I'm extremely excited about this opportunity, because it's very tailored to helping people with their careers and helping people at the time they need the most help. So hopefully we can do this well, and we'll share a little bit more of what our plans kind of look like. But we are very much progress over perfection team, so bear with us. We're kind of building the plane as we're flying it, and we did put together a pretty amazing team. We have a lot of leaders that are very in tune with what's happening with the community, that have a lot of connections, that can really help these initiatives thrive. So I'm very excited about that. You can see a couple of them on the screen here. We not all of them are going to be able to present today, but you will meet them in other meetings too, and you will see them, and we'll have ways for you to connect with them too. But we have Will, we have Marcelo, we have Christina, we have Sarah, we have Christian, we have Victor, we have Candy, and we have Scott. So we have plenty of people helping these initiatives be successful, and there will be there if you have any questions or if you need anything. These are very passionate people willing to help. So the other thing that we wanted to have right away, because I think this is a great way to start making connections and to start engaging with you directly, is to have a Slack space. So this is our Slack. If you would like, you can just scan that QR code and join us right away. And you will see a welcome message that will give you a little bit of guidance on what are the channels that you can join and how you can get support, or whatever you're looking for, you should be able to find it there. But if you do have questions and you want to ping any of us, feel free to do so. Okay, and now I'm going to hand it off to Will, who will tell you about our amazing mentorship program.
Excellent. So yeah, I'm Will Perkins. I've been in the Tableau community for about like 6-7 years, really been getting active within the group, and I've been a Tableau ambassador for 2 years now, hoping to continue to support and be recognized from the group. Not necessarily that I want to be recognized, but when the recognition comes, it means we're making a difference and people are seeing it. So I'm really excited. That's me. So if you can go to the next page, I want to introduce our committee of who is leading up this area of the tool of the project. So Roy, if you can, you can go to the next page. All right, so who is our committee? So we've got Christian, Marcelo, Sarah, and myself. As I mentioned earlier, all of us are Tableau ambassadors. Christian helps with the Comunidades. Marcelo is also he is the #1 favorited Tableau public author in Brazil. Has a lot of great stuff out there. Sarah is also, in addition to being an ambassador, she is a multi-year Tableau visionary. She leads the Iron Quest initiative for the community initiatives. And I just talk a lot on Twitter and post random GIFs, and I like to have fun there. So that's who the committee is. And if we go to the next page, what are our goals? So the goals here is the #1 thing is we want a good framework that is replicatable. We want people to be able to just copy and paste what they're doing, and how do we build success? My initial feedback when Rui had approached me about wanting to participate in this was, I've never really had like an official mentor, and I've not really, people have asked me to be their mentors, and I don't really know how good or bad I'm doing as a mentor. I just talk to people, and so I don't know how to replicate the talking. So we wanted to make sure we had something where people could feel comfortable, who have never really done this before and want to give back and want to help. And everything we've started setting up, for me, it looks very easy to pick up and develop. Our next goal, you can hit next here. We definitely want to evolve the focus here. We know that this is going to be a spectrum, that mentorship is a spectrum, and people are going to join the journey at different parts in their career, different parts of their needs. And so we want to evolve with our end users. So as people get more effective and efficient in what we're doing, how we're doing, we will meet them where they're at, while also understanding we're going to continue to have new people join this initiative. So we want to be able to have a place for everybody. And the next thing is also a really big piece, is we want to lead with a global mindset. And what does that necessarily mean? So we already see in the chat, we've got people from India, we've got people from Brazil, we've got people from the US, we've got, Sarah's in London or in the UK, right? We've got people literally all over the world looking for something like this. And how do we build up and build out this program, right? We're having this meeting in English right now. English is not everyone's mother tongue. So how do we help support people to support them in their mother tongue, right? Get global leaders, global participants, and just really make this feel natural, not necessarily feel, make this be natural and comfortable for everybody. So those are our goals from this Datafam mentorship piece. So if we go to the next page here, this is basic. This is a basic strategy. So when you go to sign up, we're gonna have the registration page pop up here in a little bit, and how y'all can get to it. There's basically two types to where we're gonna go. You can be a mentee and or a mentor. And it's okay to be both, and it's okay to be one, and it's okay to, say, this is not really for me right now. But the mentee, you're looking for guidance, your help. You have questions. You want somebody to kind of point you in a direction. Mentor is the person that has the knowledge, has the experience, brings stuff to the conversations, kind of points you in the right direction. I saw a good quote the other day that mentors don't tell you what to do. They show you where you can go. They show you the art of the possible for you. So it's not copy them, but how do you be more you? There is a peer path. So the very bottom note, that like, ignore the peer path. I haven't figured out how to get rid of this. We're working on the free version of Together. Peer path is not really anything that I could figure out would be a good definition for what the purposes are. So we're basically going to focus on mentees and mentors. So what's the next strategy, or the next page? So we chose a platform called Together Platform, and what it really is going to help us do is manage this mentorship program. And when you go to sign up, it's not just saying, hey, I want to be a mentee. It's also going to ask you questions, right? You're going to get some personal attributes. Where do you live? Language, what's your experience level? It's going to talk to you about what kind of goals do you want to achieve in this program. Find out about some of your transferable skills. I hate the word soft skills. To me, those are the transferable skills to really understand, like communication, presentations, those types of things. Then also some technical skills as well. Some people might want to join this because they want to work with a mentor who is really skilled at the tools, and they want to be better at the tools. And this could be a way that you could do this. And there's like different weightings in the back end. I don't know the algorithm. I haven't looked at the algorithm, but it's going to help you match to a mentor to get you to something a little bit more efficient. So the next page here. So your commitment, and when I say this, it is your commitment. Please understand, this is brand new. We are learning. I am completely transparent on the aspect of I don't know everything about everything. I can't know everything about everything. I am learning this Together platform. We've tested out a little bit. We think everything is working as it should be. We think all this stuff is going to be a really good platform. We're going to evolve. If it's not the right platform, if there's other ways to do this, we'll communicate, etc. Just be patient and understanding. Next bullet. So we also want to make sure you don't overload your plate, right? Don't try to go all in on this, right? We understand there's work-life balance, there's personal life balance, there's things that you just need to understand. We're here. This is going to be something for you to learn and attach onto, but doesn't necessarily need to take up 100% of your time. Go to the next one. So when it comes to mentorship, being a mentee or a mentor, you have to be open. You have to be, you have to approach it with the human aspect, right? The humility of saying, we did not get to where we're at today without failures. And we can talk about failures. We can talk about successes. We can talk about our lessons learned. We can talk about all of our PTSD from prior experiences of prior things. But you need to be open in those conversations, right? And own what you can do, own what you can't do, own the discussions, all of those different pieces. Just being vulnerable is going to be really key to these experiences. Next bullet here. You will give as much as you receive. Please give as much as you receive. If you are realizing that you're learning more, or you feel that you're actually at a point where maybe you can be a mentor, please turn around and become a mentor. This process can only grow as much as we have our mentor and mentee relationships, right? If everyone signs in to be a mentee without mentors, we're not really going to be successful. So we want people. Doesn't mean you have to be an expert in everything, but you're probably pretty good at something, and you're probably pretty good to be able to say, I can help people out in this particular scenario. So give in that area, but also share this. I think that's the next bullet, is share this with your friends. Yeah, share this with your network. Tell people about this, because it's not like your standard tug. This is a different tug. So as you're approaching this, as you're learning, and you see, hey, I think somebody else could enjoy this thing. Like I was leaving the office today, and I saw Kirby in the coffee break room, and I asked him if he was going to come here, and look, he's here. I'm sharing this with my network, and shared it on LinkedIn, etc. So be good. I found this quote. I'm going to wrap up my spot here, but this is a very true quote, and it works well with mentorship, right? So if you want to go fast, go alone. It's easy. I can go whatever speed I want to. But if you want to go far, you have to go together, because you can't do everything all the time. So how do you work with people? How do you learn from people? How do you do all these things to really take yourself to the next step and raise that tide? So it's everything for me. We're gonna have the Q&A and networking and stuff later, but and if there are other questions, feel free to post them in the comments. I'll take a look at those as we're going on. But I'm gonna hand this off to Christina.
That.
Oh, and there's the mentorship program. There's QR code. So
yeah, before that, I was going to say,
I forgot we were going to add that. So here's the QR code for you to join the mentorship program.
Okay. Now we can hand it off to Christina.
Thanks, Roy. Okay. Hi, everyone. So this is probably going to be something new. Maybe you've heard a little bit about people going through career pivots or career transitions. So it's also very new to us as well. So I feel like we've have quite a crew of people, I think, on this that may have come from different backgrounds or different careers that aren't necessarily in data or in Tableau. So I'm speaking on behalf of the transition support team. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what kind of resources, if this is a good fit for you, and then what you can kind of expect from the transition support side of the team here. And of course, our committee, you can see a couple of names there. We've got Victor, we've got Marcello, we've got me, and we've got Roy. If you don't know me, I have been a social ambassador for now 2 years. And I've been involved in data analytics as an actual career for about 7, going on maybe more than 8 in the next upcoming year. And I actually, like several people that may identify on our committee, I did not come from a business intelligence background. I came from cognitive science in a previous lifetime, in a past career. I actually came from training to be a faculty member at a university in cognitive science and educational applications. And guess what? Over a decade later, I am definitely not doing that, but a lot of my transferable skills kind of held over into what I do now. So one of my big goals and overarching goals is not just a social ambassador, but as part of the Tableau community, is really trying to reach out to those that are going through those, crazy, wild career pivots and transitions. So whether you are maybe mid-career, you've been doing something for a while, but this whole data thing is really sort of interesting to you. How do I get involved, or how do I do things? We are here for you. The other side of the coin here is that, say, for example, you are in a data-oriented field, you've been doing stuff with Tableau for a while, and you are or have been impacted by a layoff. And that stinks. And sometimes it feels very lonely. So that's why we are here for you, to provide you sort of those resources and that sort of that built-in community to help get you going, and then also to cheer you on along the way. And again, I kind of talked about this already, but to be more frank about what our ultimate goals are here is we want to be able to identify and provide some, maybe sort of a useful toolkit of resources for those people that need transition support. We're also looking at having some sort of a perpetual learning and evolution and iterating to, sort of evolve and figure out what kinds of support we actually need for this community, because it is slightly different than the the traditional like mentor-mentee pairing. It might be something more where we pair you with lots of other different people across our field that would be a good fit to chat with, as well as actual like resume reviews and things like that, trying to get you up and going, but also provide resources and feedback along the way. And then ultimately, what we're thinking about is, you can kind of see here as from our general crew, a lot of us are from all over the world. And so we want to make sure that we're, providing inclusive resources that are globalized to your needs, because I can tell you already, what's happening in the US and our job market is very different than what's happening in the UK or Brazil or Japan. So we want to make sure that we are reaching out and we are being inclusive to those needs for those people in their careers. So that is kind of one of our larger goals to scale up. But for now, we're just kind of like putting in the road work and putting in sort of the baseline resources that we're going to be, building out a little bit further for you. And so going on to resources, what we're going to be doing at first is, when you go on to our Slack, and when we get started, especially before our, first ever, meeting for those that really want to be part of the transition channel, you're going to have a one-pager guide. It's going to be kind of like a nice little 1 to 2-pager slick sheet of all the resources that we believe are going to be a good fit for anybody that's currently what we would call going in a transition or a career pivot. The other thing is, obviously, when you join our Slack, as many of you already have, we do have a dedicated workspace for that, as well as a spot to network too. So you'll see it's called the transition support. We're also going to have a little nifty thing that I didn't even know existed. It's something called GreetBot. And basically what it will do is I think we're setting it up for every 2 weeks. It will randomly hook you up with a couple of other people that are in the transition support group. That could be a combination of people that are, leaders here, as well as, people that have joined. So that will allow you to engage with and meet people that you otherwise wouldn't have across the world, and, ask each other, give feedback in a way, but also making friends too. Because let's be honest here, career transitions are hard, and sometimes there are very lonely activities. So we want to build in some sort of, built-in social activities as much as we possibly can. And then, of course, the big one is that we are going to be setting a bi-weekly cadence. So every 2 weeks, every 15 days, you're going to see a bi-weekly meetup on Bevy that will allow you to, meet with us. You'll meet with a moderator and panelists. And then we'll also be, in addition to those bi-weekly job search and, career transition meetings, we're also going to be having some, special speakers come in on a monthly basis. So stay tuned on that. I think that we already have the next meeting set up for the bi-weekly. And so exactly, if we go to the one on the post on the meeting, if you're just there, yep. So this is already available on Bevy. So if you want to use the smart code there, you can actually join it and sign up. So our first one is going to be on September 13th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to be having our first job search work group session. So if you're interested in kind of that slot of the career transition, or if you're looking for something a little bit different, we could chat about that offline. But if you're looking really specifically for a job search focused work group session, you should definitely join this. So we're also going to be trying to work on, maybe getting some alternate times that work better with different time zones too. So stay tuned on that, because let me tell you, I'm also going to be going through some career transitions and life transitions myself this fall. So we're going to be kind of working on ways that you can engage with us and have different meeting times as you need to. So I think that's primarily it for the transition support team. But to close out, at least of the deck portion, does anybody, I guess, have any questions for myself, for Roy, for Will, and the other leaders that are on this team? Hopefully we can answer them for you.
Yes, feel free to add any questions to the chat. I did want to clarify one little thing. The grid bot, I think I set it up for everyone. That's on the workspace, not specific to the transition support. So it will do random pairings on the entire workspace. So anyone that's on the workspace for the career path makers will eventually get one of those messages introducing them to someone else that's part of the group. And then you can connect there, which I think is great. And you mentioned that, Christine, as well. Like, I feel that everyone that's in a situation where they need to find that next role, should be connecting with people. I can tell you, I've experienced that myself a couple times in my career, and I have yet to find a job where it didn't come through connection. So making those connections are going to help you find that next opportunity. So I encourage you to definitely take advantage of that, and feel free. I see about maybe 10 or more people have already joined our Slack space. I apologize for the QR code. I don't. Can someone try this QR code and see if it works, because the other one didn't. I did put the link on the chat if you want to join that. But feel free to connect there to introduce yourself. We want to get to know you a little bit, and I'm looking forward to the first job search session. Make sure that if you're there, you're kind of on that frame of mind of helping out and being open to help others, as well as ask for help. It will be, I think, extremely beneficial for everyone to join that. If you are in the situation where you're in a transition and you're looking for that next opportunity, what we want to try to do is make sure that you can leverage everyone that's there and leverage the network, and we can, maybe make some introductions and stuff like that. But I appreciate everyone taking the time to be here today. And as I mentioned at the beginning, well, actually, Will, I think you.
I raised my hand on. Yeah. So I'm getting a couple direct messages right now. I believe the URL is supposed to, like, it's going to push you to Together. So one thing we have learned in setting this up is if you already have an existing Together platform email address. So for example, we learned about this through the Comunidades, where they've already got the Together platform. They're working through this. That email that you align to one account is you're gonna have to have a different email address for this space, because it's not in the same space, not run by the same group. So we're working on figuring out how to make it where you don't have to have like 12 different email addresses going through this, and asking for an email address. I used my own personal email address when I signed up, so it may say organizational. It just I think you just need an email address. It's not anything in particular on that. So trying to see any other messages that might have popped up here, but I just wanted to raise that that just in case somebody's like, well, I can't sign in, I'm already a part of Together. It's not the same as like having a single sign in for Slack and then going in and pointing to the different spaces you're involved in. It's a little tricky from what we're seeing. So
yeah, it's also part of the pain we have to kind of go through, because we're using the free version.
Yep.
If we were to go to the paid version, maybe that will open it up a little bit, but it's very expensive. So we'll figure it out, and as you mentioned, we'll learn as we go. But we definitely want your feedback as you sign up and start filling it out. Let us know if you feel that we missed anything, if we need to add something to that survey. When you start filling out that survey to sign up, that's all doing the matching on the back end. So it's very important for us to understand if that's good, or if you feel that there needs to be more maybe on some of those questions. But feel free to send us any feedback via Slack, or you can use that email as well. We have set up that email for anyone that wants to email us. Okay. So
did want to bring up, I raised my hand because I got a DM earlier from someone on this call, and I thought it was a great idea for our Slack. And I think Will, if we can try and do this for the Together platform, if we can turn on, I think it's optional on Slack. I don't know about Together, but we should turn on the pronouns setting so that people can set that up in their profiles.
Got it. Let me see how I can do that. We're also using the free version, so hopefully that's available there, but I'll take a look into it.
Okay.
Yeah,
sure.
I didn't see that in Together.
Okay.
Doesn't mean it's not there. We
don't know.
Yeah, we're learning.
We will find out. But thank you.
And if it's not there, we'll provide the feedback Together as well. You should have it. Okay, cool. Okay, so I did mention that this is all about connecting with you, and we want to try to do that. So I'm actually gonna stop the recording. Let me first stop sharing, and let me stop the recording.